It's quite strange for me because being raised here in the UK, I speak more English than I can in in Longo. Because in Longo, I rarely speak it nowadays. I mean, I only speak it when I'm speaking with my mum and dad. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Nickelodeons, like SpongeBob, Doors, and Scooby Doo, and I managed to learn English off of them TV programs. So I kind of knew a bit, but not, I didn't speak fluent. I still can't now, to be fair. Despite living in the UK, I was born in the Philippines, in Iloilo, in 1999. And the reason why I moved to the UK is because I wanted to study and further my education, and I wanted to make sure that I can further my and develop my skills, not just in the Philippines but also internationally. Because in the Philippines the technology is quite limited, whereas in the UK the technology is quite advanced. So it's quite a new ground for me. Right, my name is John Marcus de la Cruz. I am a student currently studying digital film production at Suffolk University, and this is my second year. And so far, I enjoy it considering the pandemic situation, but it's alright. Despite me living in the UK, I had the perfect grand opportunity to live in Los Angeles because my father, my dad, he was assigned to go to America, but then due to his bad behaviour, he got he got kicked out of his old uni, so he had to move to a different uni. So that window of him going to America is closed. So the only place he can go is either New Zealand or in the UK. So at the end, he moved to the UK. It's a hard one because in the United States, I feel like they appreciate like Filipino culture more because there's a lot of fast like Filipinos in the US compared to in England because obviously it's a much bigger country. But when I visited America or in LA, my dad knew a lot of people there that, for example, like family friends compared to here in the UK. So I feel like if I was raised and brought up in America, I reckon I feel more homey, if you know what I mean. Because I would have known more people there, and plus they have a really good fast food joint just for the Filipinos, like Jollibee. They're great. There's only one Jollibee here in the UK, and bloody hell, you have to line up like 3 hours. It's a shame. But in the United States, you see Jollibee everywhere. So I feel like, oh, I feel like I'm in the Philippines in America. So I feel home. I feel like I'm at home. My dad kept making me feel at home while living in the UK because he keeps cooking a lot of Filipino dishes. For example, chicken adobo, which is the most famous Filipino dish there is. It's the main dish in the Philippines and everyone like loves it. It makes me feel home again because every time my dad cooks a Filipino dish, it makes me, oh, I'm in the Philippines again. But there is one negative aspect to it though, is that it doesn't quite taste the same because some ingredients here you can only get from the Philippines. So I mean, it still remains very homely, but not really. It's kind of like a bad, like a wish version of the chicken adobo, if you know what I mean. It's like you have Amazon, you have Wish. It's like that. The variation between the two, like between the Philippines and the UK, when it comes to food, is very wide spectrum because in the Philippines we tend to eat rice at least 3 times a day. I mean, it's a sin if you don't at least have rice once a day. Whereas in here, it's just rice is like a side dish, whereas us it is the main dish. In the UK, normally they eat a lot of potatoes, like mashed potatoes, like chips and fries. Whereas in the Philippines, it's not really common. It's just the thing is in the side that no one really touches. My favourite foods in general is chicken adobo, which is the main Filipino dish. I also like siopao, which is basically a dumpling, and it's got like meat inside it and an egg. It's very protein heavy, but it does its job and it tastes like delicious. Namit. And for British food, well, I'll say fish and chips because it's just simple. It's just the cod battered and some chips. I do like roast as well, but I hardly eat it, but it does taste good. But in general, my favourite food is Chinese.
Hey!
Back in 2018, I went to the Philippines for a month and I weighed about 107 kilos. I gained, ever since I've been to the Philippines for like a month, I think I've gained about 3 stones. Yeah, it's bad. I had my blood checked, but the doctor said to me that my liver is just twice the size it should be. And so if I don't sort it out, I could be critically in danger in the future. So I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, John, you gotta make a change. Yeah, so what I done, I started doing a lot of boxing because boxing it helped me gain confidence to talk to other people because you know that I can defend myself. So if they started doing some weird stuff, deep inside me I'm like, you do not unleash the beast. It helped me shred tons of poundage, turn them into muscle, body composition wise. So there we go, that's my biggest tip. Chicken, rice and broccoli. Best way to lose weight, eat it every day. But so far, me and my mum we're like best friends, and I love it. Every time I go home, she buys me fast food, and it's not what you want if you want to lose weight. Last time I went home, she brought me a parking bucket and a Chinese at one night. All in one night, so I had to, because I feel bad if I don't eat it all. So what I done, I ate it all. That's probably why I was a beast. The relationship with my dad, however, it's really sweet as well because my dad's basically like my inspiration. He inspires me to become the man I am now because he taught me a lot of stuff that I wouldn't really know without him. So he taught me how to fix stuff. He taught me how to be a man, basically, and not be a boy. My parents got a bit nervous when they found out that I'm doing digital film production because they say that it's quite rare to find a job after you graduate doing filmmaking because it's very competitive. So they wanted me to study medicine, like be a doctor or be a nurse. But it's just not for me, that's the thing. I don't want to put my hand into people's lives, if you know what I mean, because if I screwed it up, I feel like I'm responsible for their inevitable death, so I don't want to feel like bad or anything. If I do study in the Philippines, I reckon I'll have more drive to do being a nurse because in the Philippines it's more challenging, so that's why I choose filmmaking because I'm more passionate about it. Whereas because in here it's too much technology nowadays, where in the Philippines we go back to the old school and actually go to the library. We don't have access to iPads, computers. Like, it's proper old school stuff. The reason why I love photos so much is that it's fun to do, and it shows that you are the most important aspect of this, because if you don't get this 100% right, the film can be screwed. That's a really interesting question. I don't think no one's asked me that. That took me by surprise. I don't know where I belong. To be fair, I think I belong more in the Philippines, to be fair, because I'm more home. Like, I feel like I'm at home there. Whereas in here, I feel like I have to pretend someone I'm not, if you know what I mean, to survive. In the Philippines, I can just be home. I can just be with my underpants and just walk around the streets. In here, not that far. But in here, I feel like I need to pull off that fake facade to fit in with other people. Whereas in the Philippines, I can just be who I am